This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Good afternoon. I'm Jen Ah, coming to you live from the Review-Journal studio. We're getting ready to take you to a live press conference at the Las Vegas Metro Police headquarters. Las Vegas Police say its major Violators and Narcotics Crimes Bureau will announce an arrest in the case of a fentanyl overdose death. Now let's take a live look at police headquarters there. You can see they have a podium set up there, but they're still getting set up. We want to let you know family members of the victim who died also expected to attend. Now this comes after the Review-Journal reported police arresting and charging a man with murder in connection to the overdose death of a minor, a 17-year-old girl. According to jail records obtained by the Review-Journal, police arrested 22-year-old Joshua Roberts last Friday and charged him with murder and selling or transferring drugs. Dispatch logs also show officers were called out to a home near West Alexander and North El Capitan Way back in February after receiving a report of a dead body. The Clark County Coroner's Office reports 17-year-old Mia Gugino of Las Vegas died 3 hours later from fentanyl, MDMA, and ethanol toxicity. Her death ruled an accident. Her death is also the second overdose qualifying as a homicide this year. That's according to the police department's records. Now, for those of you just joining us, we're waiting for Las Vegas Metro Police's presser to provide an update on the case of a fentanyl overdose death. It looks like the briefing is getting started. Let's take a listen.
Good afternoon. My name is John Pelletier. I'm a captain with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I oversee the Major Violator and Narcotics Bureau. For those that don't know, fentanyl is a crisis that's plaguing our society and our community. Fentanyl is a powerful synthetic opioid that is 50 to 100 times more powerful than morphine or heroin. Some drug dealers make pressed pills, which are copycats of real prescription pills that look like, feel like, and appear to be the genuine thing. In fact, they are killers, and a small amount, the size of a granule of salt, will kill you. Let me give you this statistic that you haven't heard yet. It'll be quite shocking. In 2020, 12 children under the age of 18 died from an overdose. 10 of those were fentanyl related. This year we have 5 children that died from overdose. 4 are fentanyl related. I am here today joined by the family members of 17-year-old Mia Gugino, who died earlier this year of a fentanyl overdose. On the morning of February 18th, 2021, Mia's father, Lee, went into her room, found her unresponsive, called for help, medical arrived, and pronounced her dead. They notified officers who responded. Officers observed what they believed to be indicators of an overdose. And the overdose response team, which I spoke to you about 6 months ago, responded and did everything they can to build the best investigation to obtain justice for Mia. During that relentless investigation, the partnership with the Clark County District Attorney's Office occurred, and through investigative leads and measures, we were able to obtain probable cause for the arrest of 22-year-old Joshua Roberts, who was arrested last week and charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, and sales of controlled substance. As a father, I want to express my sincere condolences to Mr. Lee Gugino and his family for the loss of their daughter. No arrest, no justice is going to bring Mia back. But if it causes people to take a moment and think about what they're taking, and if we can send that message to have you second guess and say, should I do this, should I take this because it could kill me, then we've achieved something. And if we can send a message to those that are perpetrating in our society and selling drugs, realize this: if you sell a drug and it kills someone, we will be relentless in our investigation to do everything we can to take you to justice, and if that means charge you for murder, so be it. I would now like to turn this over to Mr. Gugino.
Thank you so much for listening to me and listening to who Mia was and who we lost. For me personally, she was everything. She turned me from just a irresponsible teenager into a responsible man overnight by just looking into her eyes and looking at how much she looked up to me. It wasn't always easy. 6 months in to raising her, I realized I did not want to work nights and weekends. I wanted to work days. And my parents are the type that you don't have to ask, they just invite. And I moved to my parents, and we both started taking on responsibility of Mia. I went to school and to be a teacher like my mom. And my first year teaching was Mia's first year in kindergarten. From that point, we became an inseparable duo, doing the most that a father and daughter could do. We started inviting kids after school to play sports. It started with some soccer after school. It grew into hundreds of kids, and then we would play basketball in the winter, track and field in the spring, and swim team. And it was never about the sport or the competing. It was all about making memories and relationships and friendships. And Mia was what made it work. She was your consummate athlete that you wanted. She was not just a hard worker, but she was so kind and built up teammates. I remember swim team. We would have 100 swimmers out there that were brand new and so scared. And the first race was Mia, butterfly, and she was just so beautiful and elegant, gliding in and out of the water that you could just see the kids' nervousness just fall away. And she would go immediately out and start grabbing the younger swimmers and getting them into their spot, and they were looking up to her the way I do, as just this larger-than-life goddess. She was so kind. She was the unselfish type. The type that always was worried about everybody else. If it was a competition and the other team lost, she, after 30 minutes later, was, "How do you think the goalie's feeling, Dad? I felt bad when we scored." You know, she was that type. And I said, "Oh, it's okay, man. It's okay to win." But she always saw the other side of it. This girl gave her weeknights and her weekends to the community that we loved. We had hundreds of teams, thousands of players that were coached by me and Mia, the team. She was fearless, and she made me so much better than I actually am. This drug, fentanyl, it doesn't give you any chance. That day, she was herself, playing with her daughter, my daughter, our youngest, her sister, doing her hair, doing her nails, cooking dinner. I went to sleep, and I woke up, and everything was gone. It was every day after I go to check my kids to see, are they breathing today? I cry myself through a shower to find out 100 things I could have done differently that would have changed this. And I get into my car, usually late, and I hear Mia's voice telling me, "Relax, Daddy, relax." I'm a teacher now, but it's my first year without Mia, and I just see her running around the field. The energy I used to put into the teaching, now I want to bring awareness to this, what's happening. I just really am thankful because so many people reached out that did not have a chance, and for us to have some closure to know that this drug dealer is not walking the streets. So many people still have to see the drug dealer that killed their child, their loved one, on the street. And I'm very appreciative to Captain Pelletier, Detective Williams, for keeping in constant contact. It was very important. Thank you from my mom and dad, from Mia's sister Bella. Thank you from her brothers, and thank you from me. I want to say, lastly, that there was a couple people that really built Mia up to mountaintop heights, and I wanted to say their names. One, the College of Southern Nevada coach, Jocelyn Roach, such an amazing person that gave my daughter a lifetime opportunity to play for her community. Thank you to her coach, Andres Luciano, with the players who, after a devastating knee injury, saw potential to let her play again and get her ready for that. Thank you to the president of that players organization for starting a scholarship for Mia. And now I can continue my father-daughter work just in another area, bringing awareness that this will kill you. Her last search history was, what will ecstasy do to me? This will kill you. If we can get someone to stop and think, live to play another day. Thank you for listening to me.
I admire Mr. Gugino's courage and transparency coming before you guys to share what has got to be a canyon of pain. And for those that are thinking, contemplating, looking online, searching, what are the effects? Those that are questioning, what will this pill do to me? I can't say it enough, and I can't say it loudly for you to hear. One pill will kill. If you are even questioning the authenticity of that pill, do not take it. If a doctor or a pharmacist did not give it to you, do not take it. Do not buy it from someone on the street. And if you are selling those drugs, realize this: if you kill someone, we will do everything, and that includes charge you for murder and send you away for as long as possible. Any questions? Sir.
Were there any other overdoses or deaths associated with this suspect?
Not that we know of.
I want to extend our condolences to you and appreciate your coming forward and sharing your story. What's the connection between the suspect and Mia, and was it that she thought she was taking an ecstasy pill and it was really just pressed fentanyl in the pill?
So there was a relationship. I have to allow some of the investigative process to run itself through the court, and obviously some of that I give to you could sway it a certain way. But there was a relationship, and I would guess all the overdoses that we've seen, somebody thought they were taking something that was not what they were taking. And I don't mean to come off that way, but if there was, let's just say, a search for a particular thing, maybe that's what you think you're taking, or you're rolling on Molly, MDMA, and it has fentanyl in it. Well, you saw the picture, the granule amount that can kill you. So, ma'am.
How unusual is it to charge someone for murder in a case like this?
It's not something that occurs every day, because there is so much investigative process and partnership and follow-up that goes in doing it. When we can do it, we will. Year to date, since ORT was created, we have 7 arrests on the dealers. We've got another case in the pipeline, but we're going to do everything we can to do that. So it is something that we have done already this year. It's something we will continue to do until hopefully they get the message and we don't ever have to do it again, but that's not the case right now. Sir.
There's been a dramatic increase of fentanyl-related deaths in the Valley. It took a couple of years to catch up to some other parts of the nation. How bad can this problem get?
There's 144 fentanyl deaths from January to July this year, so that's 104. So get a room of 144 people and kill them. And I say it that way because you can put 1,000 people in that room. If you give them fentanyl, it's going to kill them. And until people stop taking illegal drugs, thinking that it's something else, it's like playing Russian roulette. And it's so deadly that we're here today because we've got kids dying. It does not discriminate. It doesn't care who you are. It'll kill you. It's bad. Sir.
17 years old, so was she able to graduate high school, or was she a senior at the time?
She had graduated early as a junior. Yeah.
In which high school?
Centennial.
And you work for the school system as well? What kind of teacher are you?
Elementary PE.
And then she was attending CSN?
Yeah, she was attending CSN. She was a freshman.
What does she want to be when she grew older?
A physical therapist. She had gone through knee surgery and she liked the idea of helping people.
Can you tell us about the uniforms behind? Like, what those?
I'll let the family do that.
Yeah, this was our team that we created, Vegas All-Stars, and anybody could come out and play. You could see my littlest one, 8, and all my other kids, 3 brothers and my daughter, oldest, Mia. And she was the head of the household. Nothing went, not even as small as dinner plan without her making the call on it. She was just amazing, and her brothers and her sister, she had that unconditional love for them that was really incredible. Just smothered them with love when they walked in.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap that up. Appreciate you taking the message out there. Thank you.
Can you give us the spelling of Mia? Is it MIA? Yes.
Okay. All right, so you just heard from Las Vegas Metro Police. They're providing an update on this latest fentanyl overdose case. Now, you just heard from police talking about fentanyl being very dangerous, deadly, that even one pill can kill. According to police, they talked about 5 children who died, 4 of them dying from fentanyl. Family members of Mia Gugino also spoke as well, talking about how she was so active in her community and sports, and she was such a great person. It was so sad to lose her like this at just 17 years old. We also got to see pictures of her for the first time. Very sad. She was such a beautiful girl. Her family saying that she was a wonderful person, and they're still trying to cope with the suffering of their loss. And they also want to bring an awareness with what's happening in the Las Vegas Valley with these fentanyl deaths, that it can kill. They say they're also very thankful to have closure with this latest arrest. As we mentioned earlier, according to records, police arrested 22-year-old Joshua Roberts last Friday and charged him with murder and selling or transferring drugs. Now we'll outline all the important details that came out of this presser online at lvrj.com. You can also download our RJ mobile app to get news alerts sent right to your phone. We also have a 7 at 7 a.m. and p.m. newscast available on Roku, Apple TV, YouTube, Amazon, all of your streaming platforms. I'm Jen Ah. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you in a few hours at 7 tonight.
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.